Sports. It's in the game.
With the first pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select
See what unis I'm put on.
For 3-3Z, Detrill says YURRR.
Real, what's up, bro? Yeah, what's poppin'?
For 3-3Z, Detrill says you always braided up.
Gotta stay braided up,
And
bro.
if it's in the game, it's in the
It's a
game.
must.
It's the Cowboys and the Raiders next on Madden Football.
See how this shit look.
For 3-3Z, Detrill says who you playing as.
You know me better than that.
Steppy says you on Clive.
One of the main attractions
What's
here
up,
on the Las Vegas Strip. Welcome everyone to Allegiant Stadium. Welcome to week 2, everybody. Kate Scott and Brock Heward here with you.
For 3-3Z, Detrill says Raiders the only way to go.
Zach the
For
Mundo.
both of these teams, Brock, they were each losers back in week 1.
It's only 2 weeks, Kate, of a 17-game season, and people I know out there going, come on, they must win right now. But the percentage of teams all-time who make the playoffs after an 0-2 start, it's right around 10%, so you are spot on once again. Not impossible to do, but your season outlook's a whole
For
lot better.
3-3Z, Detrill says these new uniforms.
Modded uniforms.
Both teams
Modded.
still searching for that first win of the season. One of them is going to find it here as we're off in week 2. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. So out head the Raiders for their first possession. They're led out by someone amidst their second act as an NFL QB. He was a second-rounder back in 2013, Geno Smith.
This is Madden 25 I'm playing right
individually last week, Kate. A touchdown and a pick for him, but the lasting memory, well, there's no question about it. Walking off that field with the loss, that stings. No doubt he feels he could have done more to prevent that result, so expect to see a motivated individual taking snaps here this week.
And they'll bottle this up after a 4-yard gain. Jack Thompson finishing that play off. Second and 6 coming up here.
For 3-3Z, Detrill says then uniform's tough.
Ah, come on with that block. That was horrible. Yeah, uniforms is hard, ain't it?
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
Throwing on third,
Oh,
Smith.
got me one.
That's caught for the first. And he does quite a bit of damage before they finally take him down.
Nah, that's 25, bro.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your
For 3-3Z, Detrill says what games you still got.
You set a tone that you're
Well, I
not
still
going to be
got-
afraid to
I
be
still got
aggressive in this
everything,
game
bro.
today. Boy, do I love that.
Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he runs into a wall there. Multiple defenders ready to stop him cold at the line. No progress on first down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10. A play fake. Now Smith to throw. Chased out to his right.
I ain't get it.
Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him.
I was just
And that
messing
pushes him
around,
back.
bro.
3rd down coming up.
Yeah, that's what I
Messing
call an
around.
absolute no-no. I mean, that just can't happen down here in the red zone. You've got to find a way to get rid of the football because now you're not only outside the red zone and you put some points that you thought were
For
a guarantee.
3-3Z, Detrill says what PS5 games you play.
And he goes down.
Boxing.
Consecutive sacks have them staring at a tough 4th down. Daniel Carlson out to try this Raiders field goal.
Really, just boxing in college, for real. Did he get it? I got it in there.
He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And the opening drive of the game ends in 3 points.
Got it in there.
A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all his concentration, every bit of his strength, to send that puppy through.
And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30.
For 3-3Z, Detrill says I might be ready to play you on Con now.
Bringing
You
them
think
out
so?
is a Mississippi State 4th-round pick in 2016,
man.
who's found considerable success in this league, Dak Prescott.
Nobody came away happy last week, no question about it. Himself, most of all. His team went 0-1, picking up the loss, but he was 0-1. 1 pick, no touchdowns. Not good enough. Defeat not an option this week, and neither is a lack of touchdowns.
Nah, I don't
They
play
intend
Roblox, bro.
to rectify both.
For 3-3Z, Detrill says I was getting practice, and back home I realize Heisman is easy now.
After a good pickup,
Oh,
they're set
yeah,
up
we're
with 2nd
going to have
and
to see
short.
about that.
Handoff here to Sanders. And what a hit there. Alex, she faced the press for moving the chains that time.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to. Because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of the defense.
For 3-3Z, Detrill says, and my Wi-Fi better here, so it should be
Pickens, the
better.
motion man right. Whiteout's getting
That
involved
should
in
be
the ground
better.
game. And he'll scurry forward for a pickup of 3. Well, What we're seeing now, Brock, they've had some pretty crummy luck, some poor fortune in keeping guys healthy during their early goings of this season.
And this is where focus and attitude is oh so critical. They're rallying around those guys who are hurt and trying to play winning football. So when those players start to come back, Kate, they could jump right back in and really add this depth and be a better team. And maybe, just maybe, they can play on push.
Yeah, just let me know, Trill. We can run that one up. Just let me know.
Huge gain and a first down. This one goes for an even 25 yards. And it'll be first down, Dallas.
Isaac, I saw you subscribe, man. I appreciate
Our
that.
3-3Z to Trill says we can after you finish this game.
This is just a computer. This is against the computer, bro.
Athleticism shine as he dances through the defense.
Damn.
Brought in by Jay Ferguson. And he's going to be taken down near the 8-yard line. 14 yards on a nice play there, and it gives them first and goal. Straight ahead with Williams.
The fact that he broke that, that's
And
crazy.
he's brought down after a tremendous effort just to get a couple of yards. It's a gain of 3, and they're going to have second and goal from the 4. Now for the first time, they turn to the rookie from Texas. And he runs it across, touchdown. The Cowboys pull ahead 6-3 in the first.
Oh, he was trying to block that.
Aubrey good on the point after. And the Cowboys won up the opposing field goal. They start with 7 on their opening drive. Aubrey now to kick this one away.
Not sure if I like this web. Not web
Evans now to return.
Damn.
And this drive will
I don't know if I like this
inside
camera
the
view, but I wanted to
25.
try it out.
Now for the second time this game, we get a look at the Raiders offense. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. They go play action. Here's Smith.
Ooh.
Makes the catch, but does not do it in bounds. Looks like he came down on that sideline.
They say he was
Second
out
down
of
coming
bounds.
up.
That's crazy, bro.
It is such a weapon offensively when you've got a big tight end that can stretch the field vertically. Not a lot of DBs have the
I'm not
size
playing
to
this
cover
Dallas,
him.
bro.
They tried to get it to him in that spot.
I ain't having no
He could win it,
time.
but unfortunately, no connection to be made.
Gonna have to wait a little longer for his first catch of the game. So now it's gonna be 3rd and long.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Our 3-3Z to Trill says I'm ready to invite you whenever.
Damn, I ain't getting no
Open
time.
up, they're able to drop it.
They're right.
And
All
the
right.
defense comes through to back them up ahead of 4th down. Now the Raiders ready
This shit
in
still
for the
don't
punts,
work.
and they'll turn to former All-Pro A.J. Cole for the kick.
Damn. That kick was crazy.
Little to nothing on that return as the coverage
no
team
high
gets to
kick.
it. Dallas sending its offense out for the second time this game. And the last time they had it, they ran it down the field on them. I'd expect some better resistance up front if they try that again.
Our 3-3Z to Trill says I sent invite.
And this is through the midfield.
Well,
stride
bro,
and
you know
on
I'm
the
on a
Raiders
PC
side of the
right now.
field. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4. From the 46. Dump off caught by his back.
Wow.
And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
Okay, that's one of those situations as a quarterback that on my grade sheet, that's a negative. That screen was...
Our 3-3Z to Trill says I thought you was on the PS5.
Just find a way to put it in
No,
his
I mean, I
face
have
and
it,
create
but
a
I don't
negative play
have.
for your
I'm not playing
offense.
on it right now. I'm playing on the PC right now,
Prescott
bro.
now on 3rd down.
That was a.
Got Williams,
Damn.
and it's complete.
He getting over.
It's a gain of 19 on the play. And that's good for a Cowboys first down.
This dude just simply got a nose for the marker no matter how they get him the ball, Kate. Hand it to him, and he sniffs out that first down. Get it to him on a screen, and it's no different. He surges ahead and keeps this drive moving.
Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete.
Thank you for the roll.
Looking for the back that
Thank
time.
you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
And we'll see what they do here on second down. They'll run it from the gun.
Way to blow it up. Way to blow it up. Damn. Breaking
And out of
everything.
bounds after a short gain. Only a yard from that time, so now.
Yeah, I'm on
third
PC,
down.
bro.
I don't mind that call on the early downs. Give that defense something to think about. You got the inside run between the tackles, and whether it's jet sweeps or a little swing pass, or in that case a toss, make sure you threaten to the outside.
Oh, my God. That should have been a sack.
And even on third down, he sees no choice other
They
than to get
tell
rid of
them.
it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be fourth down. Now Brandon Aubrey will try to knock it through for the Cowboys. Ball on the right hash, 48 yards out. Game's kick is
Wow,
good.
man.
And add 3 to their lead as it extends to 7.
A dependable kicker, man, that is a coach's best friend. Saves him so much stress to have a guy he can really trust to go out and hit it from that distance.
Yeah, I got to change that camera.
Because from that far out, no kick is a guarantee.
The Vegas offense getting set for another drive now. Their last drive didn't make it very far before they had to punt it away, partner, so hopefully this one has some better legs to it.
Damn. Are you
His
telling
charge
Brady
towards the
that?
line, it's right around 3 yards.
They got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
That's low and bounces short of his man.
Can't cover it much better than that really well covered Kate on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
They're going to throw it on 3rd and long. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Nice work by the defense on that drive, Brock, as it looks like they're going to get off the field here with a 3 and out.
Yeah, kept them from generating any sort of momentum to give this drive legs. We know offenses, they've got to see the chains move to get it going, but that forcible hit knocked the ball loose.
Okay.
Complete. It's Myers. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs. And he could have a free play here.
Oh!
It's incomplete, but good awareness. They saw him jump, shot it deep. Now we're going to get this call. Easy call for the officials there. He was offsides at the snap, and that's going to cost him. A bit jumpy across the way there, and that halves the distance ahead of him on first down.
Blocking up front.
Completed out to the left. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. We will not get another play in here. That's going to do it for quarter number 1. Neither side separating much so far. We'll return to Allegiant Stadium right after this. We're back and excited to start this second quarter. You excited? We're excited. Raiders in a nice spot here to put up some points. Working inside the red zone.
Damn.
Touchdown! Great opportunity to find a touchdown there, Brock, and they come
I'm gonna have to
through
fix
with
up a
Receivers want the ball everywhere.
2K mod.
But you start smelling the end zone,
Might
they
work on that
really
tonight.
want their chance. And they will tell you as a quarterback,
I just gotta
give
find
me
the
an
right
opportunity
community
and I'll make a
download
play.
stuff.
He sure did.
The Raiders kicking team is out there, and they'll boot this away. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback. The
This is a mod,
Cowboys
bro.
about to get going
Running
on
a mod
offense.
right now.
Javonte Williams headed
It
back
look way
out now.
different.
And they brought out their kicker for a field goal their last possession. This time they'll look to bring him out for an extra point instead. The Cowboys have it in great field position as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Here's Williams to start
Y'all
the
keep
drive.
letting me get outside.
Juke the defender. They can't stop him. They gain 14 14 on the play.
Yeah, this mod, mate. You can actually see like the numbers on the jersey and everything, bro. Like stitches and everything. Yeah, this is a real good looking mod right here.
No, it took a few shots before this crew could finally get this beast down.
It's a whole bunch of different mods I put together.
They put a receiver in motion right. They'll run here on first down. What a hit! He gets flattened to the ground.
Definitely do, man. You be having these dudes that be modifying these games and shit, making it look way better. Even the gameplay be a little better too.
Versatility he brings to the offense. That's not only as a receiver, but as someone who can take occasional carries and turn them into good yards.
On second down, a run with Williams. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. A pickup of 2, maybe 3. But
Yeah, I know you play
Madden
Madden just about every day, so you will know the difference.
First and 10 from the 41. First down, here's Dak.
Damn.
That's to his running back, Miles Sanders. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. He goes as a gain of 19 yards. And that's good for a Cowboys first down. Dak off the play fake. He's got it at the 5. And in for the Dallas touchdown. So, Brock, this offense starting to find its rhythm a bit as they finish things with a touchdown there to give them the lead.
I got the uniform. I got them off of mod in the Discord from Madden. That's where I got them from, bro. They got crazy. You know, y'all want me to go through the... You see the tattoos? Yeah, they did do a good job with the tattoos. Y'all on PC, bro.
Aubrey now to kick this one away.
I'm gonna have to change this camera angle, though. I don't too much care for this camera angle.
Bounces through the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders ready for another drive on offense as Jacoby Myers heads out.
The scoreboard
They'll
cool,
look to knot up
but
this game right
seems like it's
now as
in
they
the way.
trail 17-10. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
2nd and 6 now. It's incomplete.
How he dropped? He does not drop. That is not real, bro.
No connection on the last play, and out 3rd down.
There you go.
He'll try and pick this up on the ground. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Ask for a little bit more on that one. Ask that running back to come up with more than he's used to on 3rd down. He made it look like just another day at the office. I wouldn't expect every conversion to go as smoothly.
He will throw a pick. He laid that hit, though.
And the Cowboys will take over as he records his first interception of our season.
I've not yet in my lifetime come across a defender who hasn't told me how great an offensive player they were back in the day. Oh, you should have seen me as a running back or wide receiver. Well, right there, that defender showed some of that background. A brilliant job.
Yeah.
And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up. Trying again following the sack. He'll dump this one off to his running back complete. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. They come to the line here. This is 3rd and 6. Dak now from the gun.
The style.
Isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through. That's going to back them up and bring up 4th down. Dallas sends its punching unit onto the field. And we'll see how his debut offering goes. Coming off a busy week, 5 punts in the loss, and he sends this one away. And that one comes down at the 2 before bouncing into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Las Vegas on offense. They are coming off their first interception of the game. This drive now a chance to rebuild some confidence. Smith on first down. He beams one deep right side. That's
got me one.
Inside the 35. And he's in. Touchdown. The Raiders can tie it up in a second after cutting into the lead. Hope you weren't settled in to call a long drive there, partner, because it only took him a matter of seconds to go all 80 yards and hit pay dirt.
Are you kidding me? I love big plays just like everybody in the building loves big plays, and it took all of them, the guys up front doing their job, and certainly the playmakers to finish it.
The Raiders kicking team is out there, and they'll boot this away. And the kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. Touchback. This drive starting from the 30. The Cowboys back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. And in a high-scoring game to this point, everyone anticipating, well, even more
not let him. Come on, bro.
He's got room. Dodges the tackle and he's in. Touchdown.
T.O. Schick says, let's go.
Don't start that shit. You said you can't stand that way. It don't bother me that much. Kicking don't bother me that much.
Aubrey good on the point after. And the Cowboys.
T.O. Schick says, huh?
Now lead by 7. Aubrey now to kick this one away. Trey Tucker to return it. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10.
Hey, here we go.
Smith in the pistol. Looking. Pocket isn't moving enough. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Kate, you give him much of the credit for this early lead. Heck, give every player on that defense now their 4th sack of this game credit, because that ambush on the quarterback, a big reason why they're in control of this game.
God damn.
Tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete.
I think you're seeing why they like this guy in coverage, man. He reacts well to throws and is so adept in breaking up passes right through contact or before they ever reach the target.
And he let his man too
Away,
much there,
bro.
Incomplete. 4th down coming up.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
Okay.
Offense still staying out after the incompletion. They're going to try on 4th. They're going for this.
Why he throwing like that?
And that one's gonna be knocked away.
Throwing his
That's
way
gonna change
different
his
one
position.
here
And a surprising
than what it
4th down
usually
call
is
does
because of the
not
mod
yield
I
a
put in
first.
there.
This doesn't get there. It's a turnover on downs. Here's Prescott, 1st and 10.
Damn.
This throw is caught. Touchdown, Dallas. To rock this offense, looking sharp here in the first half as they extend their lead.
You know, and when things are going well, sometimes you really just get into a groove. And this is a unit that's putting the pieces together.
That one splits the uprights. And the Cowboys double their lead to 14. Aubrey now to kick this one away. Here's Carter on the return.
No return.
In pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The offense returning to the field now as we get a look at their wideouts. And they sure surprised us, going for 2 in that spot on their last drive. Not sure we're going to see that call come out here again. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Hand off to the back. And he's still looking for the play that sparks the ground game as that
I know
one
he
stop
ain't
for
hurt.
a loss. Well, we're going to pause here, and for good reason. One of the Raiders was injured on that play and is being tended to. Back to the line they go. It's second down.
Sunday here, Sunday.
They give it to him again. Escapes a defender.
Poor
And
dog.
he's got a decent
Can't
gain
get
before
on
being
him.
brought down. Give him 5 on that play. Now it's going to be third down and 6.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
Third and 6 for them to figure out now. From the gun, Smith. Coverman is there, and he harmlessly knocks it away. Incomplete.
Why is this nigga
You
hurt?
know, ball
We got
skills are
Keenan
not just a
Allen.
selling point for receivers and
Oh. I don't remember us picking up Keenan Allen.
teams want defenders, especially in this day and age of the passing game.
I'm gonna have to look
who
at
can
that.
make
I
plays
don't-
on the
I
ball,
legit
too,
don't
especially
remember.
on these deeper throws. He doesn't
How,
slap that
what?
one
What
away.
you
We could
got?
be looking at a huge gain.
Smith on fourth down. This ball's cut by Bowers. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. Smith working quickly here. Trying to throw here out of the gun.
Damn it,
That's
man.
incomplete. Wanted to dial up the aggressiveness there like that, but couldn't connect. Second down. Lone back in the backfield, and they give it to him. And that's good for a gain of 5. Jack Thompson finishing that play off. There's 5 on that play. They need 5 more now on third down. Out of the gun, here's Smith. Defender runs right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Trying to find Brock Bowers. And that leaves them with 4th and 5. Shotgun snap to Smith. And they got
Good
second on
line,
4th
Lord.
down. We've got a turnover on downs, and the defense takes
That
over
man ain't
in
got
plus
no
territory.
time.
First down, ball at the 36. Tight end going in motion here. First and 10, Prescott.
Oh, shit. Wide
This is
fuck up.
complete, Jalen Tolbert. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. From the red zone now.
Wow.
And they take this in for the score.
They let him
The
slide. through.
Cowboys stretch their lead to a 3-score advantage. It's a Dak Prescott touchdown. Extra point from Aubrey is up and good. And the Cowboys stretch their lead to 21.
Raiders 17.
Aubrey now to kick this one away.
For the Cowboys.
Tucker now on the return. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. Now the Raider offense headed back to the field. Their failure on 4th down was answered by a touchdown, so they're really going to need to rebuild some momentum as they take the field once again. On first down, they'll run. This is ahead for about 5. Jack Thompson finishing that play off. First down play, nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you can be a Pro Bowler.
So it's the 2-minute warning here from Allegiant. The Raiders have a lot of work to do for any points before the break. From the 27.
Like a third
Gets this
knee.
to Michael Mayer. And he's down after getting this up to the 41. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down.
Good for Las Vegas. First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Lone back gets the handoff. And he gets a few on the plunge forward.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
They go play action. Here's Smith. That's caught. Keenan Allen. And they finally bring him down.
Umber Mike says, good evening, brother.
What's up, Mikey? How are you?
They managed 22 on the rip and a first down.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend? Do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass.
Umber Mike says it good and yourself.
And that quarterback will find you again.
And that's
I'm good, bro. No complaints here at all.
Flag comes out, and this could be interference. So a little too much contact on the part of the defender, and the officials flag him for it. First and 10 for him now, following the penalty.
Umber Mike says Ninja Turtle shirt.
And he sails that one over the end zone.
Oh yeah, I got plenty of these, bro.
Thought he had a touchdown
Plenty.
there. And it sets up second down. A play fake. Now Smith to throw. Throw left side, complete. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the stick.
Umber Mike says Mikey is your favorite
Now
right.
the Raiders call for the first of their timeouts.
Right about that.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. And again, it's Smith. And this will be a Las Vegas touchdown. The Raiders chop some of the lead off before the half. Brock Bowers, the touchdown. Carlson adds the extra point. And the Raiders get it back to a 14-point game.
Raiders 24.
Damn, I didn't realize I was down by that much.
The Raiders kicking team is out there, and they'll boot this away.
Tired of the same old shit.
Return coming from the 6.
Umber Mike says, yo, bro, you need a stop.
Well, it's about to be,
Down to 12 seconds before halftime as they come to the line. Yep, as expected, they go to the ground to start this one off. And the power play up the gun only results in 2 yards. Throwing it just before halftime. That one's cut along the left sideline. So we've arrived at halftime with the Cowboys enjoying a lead on the road. Gonna have to make those halftime adjustments on the fly. We're skipping right through to the starts of the 3rd quarter.
I thought I got ball back.
The Raiders kicking team is out there, and they'll boot this away.
Umber Mike says, how was your week, bro?
My week was cool, man.
We've got a touchback.
Ain't been doing too much, my guy. Just trying to get some shit together. How about yours?
The Cowboys have it in great field position as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Okay, the wide receiver's gonna get to begin the drive.
Umber Mike says the same man. Work been busy, but I'm off until Tuesday.
Yeah, it is a holiday
Situation, you
weekend.
catch a team off guard.
Enjoy your
It's gonna be
holiday,
a
my guy.
tremendous play for some big
Ain't no
yards.
shit.
But in the wrong situation, you get hit in the mouth right behind the line of scrimmage.
Escapes the pocket. He's gonna keep it this time. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. He landed Roberts coming over for the hit. Raiders loading up the secondary on 3rd down. Count them, 6 DBs on the field. Working out of the gun, it's Prescott.
Damn it! That's my fault,
Completes
too.
beyond the marker. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. Who slated downs to approach here from the 40. Second half starts with a run by Williams.
They through.
Continuing to dig, he's inside the 25. And he's finally stopped right at the start of that red 20. To the line we go. They're set, 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he maneuvers through the middle for a gain of 4.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
Gets it towards the end zone, but it's incomplete. So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Prescott here from the gun.
Man, pick that off!
Into the end zone, but someone's able to knock it away. That's incomplete. So 4th down brings out Brandon Aubrey to try for the Cowboys field goal. It's a 33-yard look for
Damn,
the
I forgot about what's her name.
Gay's kick is good. And that
Milton.
makes this a 3-score
I forgot
game.
about him.
Well, that's why they spend all the time on the practice field during the week. That kind of operation. Perfect rhythm, perfect timing, and a 2 for 2 for this kicker.
Evans now to return. He's got a lane up past the 30. Some good work on that return. Brock gets this up to the 33. The Raiders have their offense back out there. They're running out of time to get this game into a more manageable spot, Brock. We've got a 3-score deficit, and we're in quarter number 3.
Fuck, I threw it to the wrong person.
Dumped off to his running back.
I had,
And they're on him after about a
what's the
2-yard
name?
gain. Kair Elam getting there for the stop. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Here's a give up the middle.
Damn,
His drive up the
shit.
middle gets him about 3. Marshawn Nealon, the one to send him down.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. 4th down coming up.
Gotta stay in the
This is
pocket.
why we hear
Gotta
about
stay in the
closing
pocket.
speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Nobody
That
else.
one's going to be knocked away, and that's going to force a change in possession. We've set it down
About to
for
switch
around the
teams
38.
up real quick. Top, white.
Up the gut they go with Williams. And he'll pull his way ahead for a 4-yard pickup.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, and there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals a 1st down.
Sanders running dead ahead.
I
And they
swear.
bring him down. Looks like he got it to the 27. That's good for 7 yards. And it'll be 1st down, Dallas. First down, here's Dak. Flushed out of the pocket. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up. Handoff now out of the gun.
Man, they breaking
And
everything.
finally, they bring him down. He shook off a couple of defenders there on a nice pickup. That's going to be 6 on the run, so that brings up 3rd and right around 8. From the gun is Prescott. He finds Sanders. Barrels in for the touchdown.
Hey, kicking my ass.
The Cowboys could put... So we've got a stoppage now. Figured this might be coming. We're going to take another look to see if this was indeed a touchdown. Ooh, it doesn't get much closer than this, Brock.
Man, everybody getting hurt in this game, yeah. That's crazy. Get at me. At me. I don't want to play with them. Find another.
Choose the team you want to start your franchise with. Use the options on the left to edit. It's the NFL on EA Sports, and there's no love lost between these AFC.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Play action. Now Richardson.
Oh, where to go.
And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long.
Finds his big tight end, Mo Alley Cox.
I'm the one man.
10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And it'll be Titan football.
No way.
So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. Leading them out is their rookie quarterback, the young man out of Miami.
And a very promising debut in week 1. Let's face it, rookie quarterback, anytime you can go out in week 1 that way and get a victory, you take that as a giant positive as a team and as a player. Now, he'll work on improving his own individual play while continuing to help his team win.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Jackson, the man in motion left. They go play action here on 1st down. Throw to the right, caught by Okonkwo. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? What a luxury to have a tight end that can not only catch it, but then can run after the catch like that.
What was the old expression back in the good old days? And they used to carry pianos on their backs when they were after they caught the football. Someone would stop and bang out a tune along the way.
Oh, what?
Nowadays, these guys are essentially bulked up wide receivers.
Cam had that on him. Honey, what are they talking
about? A lot
about?
of big plays as we just saw there.
Now a second
Come now.
And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future All-Pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
We take a peek at the list of inactives for this
Turn
week's
me up,
game.
son.
Gosh, this early in the season,
Turn
Charles,
me up,
injuries
son.
already accumulating for this squad.
Turn me up, son.
You got to wonder, in this organization, are they just saying to themselves, well, hopefully we're just getting them out of the way early so we can make a late season push when we have everyone back. It certainly feels that way with the number of injuries they've had already.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that
Offer Mike says
incompletion.
close.
So this is a big play coming up here on third down.
Now Ward, off play action,
No time.
under pressure, and he'll go down, back at the 26-yard line.
Grover Stewart getting in there for the sack.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown.
Offer Mike says, did you create Ward?
That's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down.
This is a mod I'm using.
On fourth down, Ward. Flush to his right.
Come on, bro. He faster than that.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over.
Yeah, I just downloaded a mod.
Ultimately, they fail on fourth down. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts.
Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Downs going in motion right. Richardson now going to fake the jet sweep, and he'll throw off play action.
That is incomplete.
You talk about this Titan defense.
They enter play here, number 11, just outside the top 10 of the league in stopping the run.
And that play right there shows exactly why they're so good against the run. Held the line of scrimmage, held the point of attack, and stuffed him for no gain.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Back to throw. Here's Richardson.
It is that.
Right.
Oh, y'all let him get loose.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. Third down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
He lets this one fly toward the back
That's
of the end
it.
zone. It's
They ain't give it to me.
Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I think when they get back in the huddle, the question will be, why did you throw that one? The coverage was incredible all over him. The only thing he didn't do after he caught the ball as a defender was get his feet in bounds. That should have...
Touchdown, Indianapolis.
That is crazy.
Ashton Doolin, his first
They let him
touchdown of
drive
the new
now.
season. And the Colts are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And he returns this to the 22.
The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive.
They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination. Dash of anger.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They run straight ahead here with Pollard, and he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 31.
Back to throw. Ward.
Good throw. Hell.
Hey,
he get caught.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33. Looking to throw. Ward. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
The Titans at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season.
Touchdown! A great play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6.
And the Titans are an extra point away from evening this one up.
The extra point by Sly is up and good, and we are tied at 7. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it ends with a Tennessee score. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. Indy set to go on offense once more. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out.
Oh!
Lost it. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
You remember in preseason when we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. They'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
And he's going to get this pretty close to a 1st down at the Colts 25.
Here comes 3rd and about a foot.
Back to throw. Ward. Hard throw, incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. They'll run for it with Pollard, and he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. Back to throw now on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That's a 1st down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10. Looking to throw. Ward. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown.
Touchdown, Tennessee. Chigaconquo from 13 yards out. And the Titans have taken the lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now, get some points on this drive.
Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Now it's Richardson. His throw incomplete.
But that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Richardson looking to throw this. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he is stopped just short on 3rd down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So here are the Titans to take over on offense. They played the Browns last week, got the victory in that game, and so far so good as they've got the lead here. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Got his man, Okonkwo. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Off the bootleg. Ward. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. That is incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
42 yards rushing for him now to this point. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Would have been right at about a 52-yard field goal try, but no, they are going to go for this thing on 4th down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Ward off the play fake.
Oh!
And that is incomplete.
How you ain't get the... It be too many injuries on this shit, bro.
But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. They'll look to throw again. And that is
what they call passing interference. That shouldn't even be passing interference.
This could be a 1st down.
Yeah, these what's the name is like extra sensitive.
Pass interference call.
And everyone works hard on third down. That's usually the money down. Get off the field. It intensifies when it's a fourth down. You think you've got it done. You think you've completed the play. Instead, you see a flag. Pass interference gives them a new set of downs.
A pickup of 2 brings up 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line.
Pollard. Going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. This Colts D up to the challenge so far, but they need another stop here on 3rd and goal. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Crazy.
Now a stoppage. It looks like we have a cold who was shaken up on that last play.
A field goal would make it a 2-score game, but they're going to go aggressive. They're going to try this thing on 4th and goal. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And this Colts defense comes up with a goal line stand.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive.
And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3.
Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Richardson to throw. Got his man. It's Warren.
And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line.
This offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here.
They'll send the tight end in motion.
Richardson.
And he works his way past the line
That's
of scrimmage
wild.
and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
In motion, the tight end.
Richardson out of the shotgun. This one completes Alec Pierce. Into space at the 45.
And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. A big pickup of 38.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Richardson off the play fake.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Warren. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 24-yard line. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march.
Not too many teams will use a 1st-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the 1st round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a 1st down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
He's dropped just inside the 20. A little second effort there, but couldn't find a whole lot of space. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
He was still in the pocket.
As the Titans defense holds up in coverage. And his kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They're coming off a 4th down gamble that last drive that backfired, CD, but really not as badly as it could. Their defense held up and only gave up 3 points.
And what they wanted to do is play off the momentum the defense gave them. Only giving up the 3 points in that situation after they failed on 4th down. Now they want to make it pay off. They want to pay homage to the defense and have their own drive pay off in points for themselves.
Good.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
That is incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football.
Right.
It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. On the option to give to Taylor. And he loses the football.
That's the second time fumble. Did we get it? We did get it.
DBs has it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive.
I should have won.
And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. 50 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Here's Ward. Off play action. And it's
why is it that he can't get that shit off, bro?
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They're going to try and throw. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. And quickly, they get to the line. Off the play fake. Ward. He sets to fire deep. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Illegal, man, down.
Yeah, you only get a 1-yard buffer there from the line of scrimmage, and he got downfield a little too far, and the flag came out. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He gets it complete to Jackson. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
Shit. Oh, lineman got him away.
DeForest Buckner with a sack, the former number 7 overall pick. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Hey.
And while all of that was going on with a sack, it appears, unfortunately, we have an injured player. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football. Now
This is crazy. There's too many fucking injuries with this shit, bro.
To go for it predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. Now Richardson. And his throw's going to
West side, right on time.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get the field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Now Richardson back to throw it.
Lets one go downfield for Pierce. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Skirts by him at the 35. And he
got lit up,
man. As they tackle him down at about the 36. And now the Colts call on their field goal unit here. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the blocked. Now, and nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Titans. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Titans take the blocked field goal and convert it into 6 points. So the problem's really starting to add up now. I mean, they tried a field goal in an effort to get a little bit closer, but the block and return make the situation worse.
I like what you just said there. Just trying to get a little bit closer. I think mentally, that's why they were doing it, because really the 3 wasn't going to do them a whole lot of good, but they feel better about themselves. Now, they feel exponentially worse.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1.
East side right on time.
So we've reached halftime here in Nashville, the Music City, with the Titans out in front. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Sorry, Coach, put a pin in that. We are going to move right on to the third quarter here. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the third quarter gets underway. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Titans getting set to go here to begin the third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
So he stays up, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the third quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get him going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said, that they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force that gets us going here in the second half and puts us in a position to find a way to win the game.
Here's Johnny Hacker now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. The Colts offense and running back Jonathan Taylor heading back onto the field. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point. And showcasing those strong legs on that run, getting through 1 tackle. Gosh, he winds up getting 8 there.
All right, I'm going to call it a night. Step, appreciate you kicking it, brother. Just wanted to do a quick stream. No, I don't be here on long for real if it's slow. So appreciate you, Step. Have a good night, man. I'm gonna try to pull up a 2K stream probably tomorrow or something. See if I can find a good mod.